So let's go ahead and get this started. Gonna go ahead and tell social media that some streams are happening. Let's see. Cool. Done that. And done this. Neat. Cool. Alright, nice. I believe that's all the clerical stuff that needed to be done. Yeah, I do want to not deal with that. Alright, so let's just jump right into a dark match while we wait for the chat to populate. As is the standard on Blake's House Television. Alright, I am a gigantic fucking Asuka mark, so putting Asuka in the first match. And who else? Who do we put her up against? That's the question. You know what, let's go with Kevin Nash. Nice. Hey, well, appreciate you stopping by. I'm a little bit later start than I wanted to be, but we are here, and we're going to be getting into some professional wrestling. Let's see. Kind of the feeling out process between Asuka and Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, of course, best known for his role in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. Let's see. So don't have anything worked out for that right now. No, like, major spoilers, because we're technically still on air. But, so I've issued the challenge as of last week to GK, and then he's responded. So we're going to resolve the his invasion angle, and then we'll set up your MMA invasion, and then set up your guys going after GK's wrestlers, and kind of set up another arc after that. So basically, the current angle is about to wrap up, and then you're going to be jumping right into an angle right after that, is kind of how I have it in my head. Ooh, big flying armbar from Asuka. But Kevin Nash just being an absolute monster person, just overpowering the smaller competitor. Neither side really wants to make a move here. I can't say I blame either of them. Asuka can kick your head off like a Mortal Kombat character at any given moment, and Kevin Nash is well over 7 feet tall and has the strength to go with that size. That just makes him an absolutely threatening grappler. Despite the fact this match has been going on for nearly 5 minutes, still kind of in what I would consider the early stages. Neither side has gotten the upper hand. Still hitting, like, very small moves, but a big running elbow from Kevin Nash, followed by a forearm smash. It looks like he's starting to gain some sort of advantage, but Asuka able to kick out. There are those educated feet of Asuka that I alluded to earlier. But she's just going to slow the big man down with that chin lock. repeated strikes to the head, doing a lot of work getting those feet up to the chin of Kevin Nash. But Kevin Nash just powering out of that pinning predicament. And big boot square in the jaw, and now it is Kevin Nash that's going to be slowing his opponent down with a chin lock of his own. Asuka able to power out. So Kevin Nash will just apply the hold again. Ooh, big turnaround lariat, and Asuka's dazed. So Kevin Nash will once again go to that lariat. Followed by a big backdrop. But Asuka responds back, flying armbar seemingly out of nowhere. Kevin Nash able to break the hold before he can take any more damage to his arm. So Asuka now, once again, going back to that armbar, taking a page out of Kevin Nash's playbook, going hold for hold against him. And it seems to be a bit of a momentum shift. Ooh, nearly misses with that big kick, but finds her mark with 3 smaller kicks. Bit of a forearm smash, just trying to create space. Kevin Nash, too big to suplex, just reverses that easily. And that feeling out process at the start of the match seems to have ended, as both competitors are much more aggressive at this stage of the match. And now Asuka once again going for a pinning combination, seemingly trying to surprise Kevin Nash here. But Kevin Nash is going to take a lot more than that to get one over on him. Goes for that big hip attack, but Kevin Nash just blocking it with his sheer size, but unable to block those kicks. Ooh, Asuka lock seemingly out of nowhere. Kevin Nash unable to break the hold, as he's been in that for quite a while. And it seems that's taken a lot out of him. So she is going back to that Asuka lock. But Kevin Nash still refusing to submit. This time Asuka able to get Nash up on under that vertical suplex position. Seems he didn't have it in him to block the suplex. But he did have enough in him to kick out. So Asuka once again going to that flying armbar. But the resiliency of Kevin Nash just refusing to submit. So Asuka once again going to that armbar. This time Kevin Nash able to get one of those long legs into the ropes. And Kevin Nash wants a break, as he has pushed Asuka to the outside and is just going to hold court in the center of the ring. As both competitors take a minute to breathe. But we are going right back into this contest. And there was that strike that she attempted much earlier, once again going to the Asuka lock, but Kevin Nash still not submitting. How much more is it going to take? Asuka certainly wants to be the one to find out. This time going up into the arm that she's been working for quite a while in this match. But it's still not enough. Kevin Nash has taken Asuka's best shot time and time again, and he has not yet had an opportunity, just due to the relentless offense of Asuka, to give his best shot back. You've got to wonder if Asuka will be able to kick out of that jackknife powerbomb that Kevin Nash is so well known for. But Asuka refuses to give him the opportunity, and I can't say I blame her. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping by. You haven't officially missed any real matches. This is the pre-show match. Asuka bringing Kevin Nash nearer to the center of the ring. And this time, Kevin Nash able to use his size and weight to block that suplex. And gives the fans at home a too sweet. Gotta figure he's looking for that jackknife powerbomb that he has been unable to hit thus far in this contest. And both competitors just battling it back and forth with those forearm smashes. Ooh, big drop kick to the back of Kevin Nash, but Nash to his feet first. And Asuka now creating a little bit of space, using her superior speed. Nash with repeated knees to the gut. Finally in control of this match. Asuka with that spinning kick, trying to take Nash's head off, and is able to do so. And congratulations for Asuka for defeating Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze's Super Shredder in singles competition. If you updated people before I loaded the game, I don't think that those are going to get pushed to my console, but the next time I boot, I would get those updates. Because I believe that's when the game checks. So if you updated them earlier today, I have it. If you did not, then I likely do not. Okay, then yeah, we're good. Also, one of your wrestlers are going to be competing against Shane McMahon tonight if you want to pick one in particular to be a feature. That's going to be a little ways away, but just want to have that in your mind. As we go ahead and open this show. So, welcome to another week of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Got a lot of great matches in store for you tonight. Of course, we have the constant fixture on Blake's House Professional Wrestling, the Maglo Open Challenge. Maglo putting on a very successful show in Winter Park's The Geek Easy last night. Played a music show last night. Will be on a wrestling show tonight, taking on all comers as he does every week. And of course, in addition to that, in tonight's main event will be Full Sail's own Eric Alpizar against a two-time Olympic champion in Willem Ruska in the Shoot League Finals to determine the first ever Shoot Division champion of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. This will be Blake's House's last chance to take home the gold, as every other member of Blake's House has been eliminated from the tournament. Additionally, of course, we have the King of Fighters TV title, which is defended every week. And if you were watching last week, we had the tag team champions, Sterling and Warzala, defeated in tag team action. So that put a bit of blood in the water for the tag division, and people have been clamoring to determine who the number one contender is, so we're going to settle that tonight. There are 4 teams, Jamel and James Holloway, Blake and Brandon, Antonio and Drew, and Tyler and Nick, all competing for the number one contender spot, and that number one contender spot will be filled tonight with 2 Fatal 4-Way matches. If you win your Fatal 4-Way match, you go into the tag team number one contenders match tonight. If both members of your team wins, you do not have to fight for the number one contender spot, and you will be the number one contender for the tag team championship. But that is going to be going a little bit later on tonight. Let's go ahead and get back to some action right now, where we have another update on COLBY's Japanese excursion. So let's go ahead and check in on that. And if you have noticed, we have Nightbot going on in the chat, promoting the Def Jam Fight for New York community-funded pot bonus. Of course, if you are interested in donating cash to the community-funded pot bonus, you are welcome to do so. But there are a couple of steps that you can take, a couple of links that you can click that will put a couple of extra dollars into the pot, as well as that Matcherino will link to the Def Jam Fight for New York tournament at CEO. That will be happening at the end of this month, and there will be a little bit more information on that in the coming weeks. Hsien-Jo, you haven't missed basically anything, as you missed a dark match where Asuka defeated Super Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. Let me see. Oh, so I don't have the, like, a little bit later we can talk about getting you a ring mat set up, because that is just something I need to sit down and do. Let's see. So let's take a look and see how COLBY's Japanese excursion has been going. So we are going to have COLBY fighting William Ospreay. Of course, the two-time Best of Super Juniors champion as of earlier this week. So this will certainly be a contest that will be no easy task for COLBY. Ooh, sidestepping that big boot. And sidestepping that dropkick as well. As I said earlier, this was going to be no easy task for COLBY, but COLBY is making it very difficult for the aerial assassin to get any offense in at this stage of the match. But COLBY, with that clubbing blow followed by mounted punches, have gotten him off to a solid start at this stage of the match. And looks like COLBY was setting up some sort of run towards the corner turnbuckle, but Ospreay able to get out first and putting on some kind of combination arm hold, but COLBY able to power out. Big headbutt, just absolutely floors Ospreay, and COLBY going for the cover early, which Ospreay able to power out of. Ooh, big, torturous half crab there, but unable to lock that in for any kind of extended period of time. Ooh, once again, COLBY going back to those mounted punches. He just wants to punish Ospreay, and I can't say that I blame him. I will not elaborate on that point further. But right now, the two competitors just battling it back and forth with those punches. But COLBY able to get to his feet first. And just slams Ospreay and follows with a falling fist. Now it's Ospreay going for that sleeper hold, but COLBY able to get a foot on the ropes. It won't be locked in for very long. Big body slam. Ospreay finally starting to get some momentum. Step up enziguri right to the side of the head. But COLBY hitting one of his signature holds, that pump handle slam. And gets a 2 count out of it. The aerial assassin and two-time champion of the Best of the Super Juniors is struggling tremendously against COLBY. And COLBY once again returning to the mounted punches. This time, Ospreay able to use his superior agility to get out of that hold. And just repeated chops to the chest. You got to feel for COLBY. Ooh, but another big falling fist. Another falling fist. Just absolutely pounding the chest of Ospreay. Looks like he's going for something big. Ooh, just a running knee right into the stomach of... Ospreay going up top. He's so comfortable up there. Big shooting star press. And gets a 2 count out of it. See, Ospreay electing to go outside. I half expected a dive here, but instead, he's just going to brawl with COLBY on the outside, and I can't say I think that's a good strategy against the brawler that is COLBY. Nearly missing there. And both men are fighting their way to the back. Big pump handle slam. And oh my god, Harada to 19.5. COLBY was very nearly counted out there. COLBY electing to put Ospreay up top. No, he allows him to go for that red arrow hold and gets 2.9 out of it. I am absolutely on the edge of my seat here. Big turning belly to belly and goes for the cover. Only gets 2. Super kick right in the jaw. Finds its mark cleanly, but COLBY responding back with that pump handle slam. And it could be setting up for the atomic lariat. Lariat. Oh! Cover 1, 2. 2.9. It wasn't enough. Big drop kick to the back of the head. And Ospreay is coming back. House of Fire here. Oh, surprise roll up. Is he able to kick out? Was 2.9. Oh, shit. I need to... shit. I need to fix Nightbot because it should not be doing moderation. And once again, another Atomic Lariat. And 3 count fall with the Atomic Lariat. COLBY's Japanese excursion going very well. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, because right now, Nightbot doesn't actually have any mod powers, so it shouldn't be able to actually do anything. And I did not give Nightbot mod for that very reason. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let me disable all this bullshit for right now. Because basically, I just want that to... there we go. I want to have Nightbot available so that way I can run ads for the Fight for New York tournament, but I currently don't really want it to be able to do anything else, and I just forgot to turn that off. So you guys are good. So James, you came in. That was the first official match of the show. As I stated earlier when Jamel came into the chat, Asuka defeated Super Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze in singles competition. But that was the dark match. This was the first official match. Let's see here. But, and of course, this was just a bit of a check-in on COLBY's Japanese excursion, and it seems his excursion is going very well as he defeated Will Ospreay with the Atomic Lariat. Let's see here. I'm hearing word we're getting JB3 live via satellite here. Give me a moment. Let's go ahead and connect him and see if he's got a response for the challenge that was issued last week.
Hello, Blake's house, but more importantly, Mr. Princler. Last week you issued a challenge, and here you go. I accept. A main event. You versus me. Owner versus owner. JB3 versus Princler. Just remember, when you fight an attorney, expect them to exploit your loopholes, and everyone has one. As far as the cross-promotional event goes, I love the idea. Gives JPW the opportunity it needs on television to show why it's the best in the world. Now, you issued the challenge, so you better write the time down. June 16th, 7:30 p.m., JPW versus BHW. Be there.
So, JB3 does not want to wait. He wants this cross-promotional event to be next week. And you know what? I'm going to give that to him. I'm going to give that to you guys. You heard it here first. Next Sunday, Judgment Pro Wrestling versus Blake's House Pro Wrestling, with the main event of Princler versus JB3. We'll have some more details to come as this week goes on. Maybe some announced matchups. But, of course, we've got a full wrestling show ahead of you tonight. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. As I mentioned earlier, of course, Nick's wrestling organization looking to throw their hat into the ring. Coming after all comers, calling out Judgment Pro Wrestling, and of course, Nick's wrestling organization already having held Blake's House Gold. You've got to imagine that Blake's House is in their sights as well. So, let's go ahead and get another match featuring a Nick's wrestling organization competitor, and it is going to be Nock Voldo against somebody's dad, Shane McMahon. And let's see how he handles himself against one of the surprise competitors that has just been doing so very well these past couple of weeks with roll-up victory after roll-up victory. Is he going to be able to steal one on Nock Voldo? Yeah, Nock Voldo, former tag team champ and former KOF TV title champion. So he is one of the few double champions in this organization. Has yet to really make a name for himself in singles action. But if he were able to defeat somebody's dad, Shane McMahon, he would certainly be making a name for himself. But Shane is not going to make that easy. Of course, Shane McMahon, best phantom punches in professional wrestling. And with roll-ups that can come seemingly out of nowhere and catch even seasoned veterans by surprise. Nock Voldo not willing to be surprised here, blocking that Irish whip. But McMahon is maintaining that offensive pressure. But a little bit of a miscue there. McMahon unable. And Nock Voldo with that patented freaky magic that he's known for. But Shane McMahon sidestepping that leaping cutter, and that allows him to deliver some mounted punches of his own. And Nock Voldo quickly powering out of that. Shane responding back with that face buster, and it appears as though somebody's been busted open, and it appears to be Nock Voldo, possibly from those mounted punches from McMahon, as there is red all over that SNK logo. Shane McMahon possibly telling his opponent in this match to hashtag embrace death with those big punches over the logo there. Shane now going for that camel clutch, trying to humble the larger, more powerful competitor. Going for that big low blow. One. Only one. Nock Voldo will be a much more difficult opponent to take out. Goes for that torturous Boston Crab. Of course, Shane McMahon able to get a hand on the ropes. So Voldo returning to that stunner type maneuver. And going back again to that crab. But Shane McMahon just able to get a fingertip on the ropes there. Nock Voldo thought he'd pulled him away just enough, but Shane McMahon was just barely able to reach. But despite that, McMahon hasn't really been able to do much else thus far. And now Nock Voldo just grinding that elbow into the head of Shane McMahon, just trying to humiliate him with his amazing display of power and control. Shane McMahon responding back with a big headbutt. Diving elbow finds his mark right in the chest of Nock Voldo, but Nock Voldo able to get to the corner, and Shane once again sidestepping that leaping cutter. Protecting himself very well from that hold. Ooh, Voldo going for that big fire, but McMahon able to sidestep. Drops down. Oh, goes for the lariat, but a bit too close to the ropes. So take 2 on the spot, and the lariat finds its mark the second time around. Shane McMahon just big kicks into the corner. Shane McMahon going for the Bronco Buster, trying to possibly humiliate his opponent. Trying to quite literally break his spirit, but it's not going to be enough. That big, heavy right hand, followed by a frog splash right into the back of McMahon. But McMahon, surprisingly able. After that spear, and Shane McMahon just starting to gear up here, throwing those big phantom punches to the head of Nock Voldo. DDT right into the mat, right where he busted open Nock Voldo previously. Nock Voldo once again going up top. Another frog splash, but McMahon able to roll out of the way. This is anybody's match at this point. Shane McMahon has certainly gotten more sustained offensive damage, but Nock Voldo, the power advantage is not to be understated. As you can see, even after going for that cover, Shane McMahon was the one who appeared to be winded. Once again going for that frog splash, but once again Shane McMahon able to roll out of the way. McMahon responding back with an elbow, and that finds its mark. Shane McMahon once again going up top of that high orange Gatorade district, and this time Nock Voldo able to roll out of the way and responds back with a deadlift German suplex and gets a 2 count out of it. And Nock Voldo's had enough. He's just punishing McMahon with those strikes. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3 count fall. And Nock Voldo cutting off somebody's dad, Shane McMahon, before he even got an opportunity to get started. And finally breaking McMahon's winning streak over the course of this last couple of weeks. So, credit where credit is due to Nock Voldo of Nick's Wrestling Organization. If that group wants to get themselves involved in the Blake's House and Judgment Pro Wrestling affairs, if we have more competitors like Nock Voldo, they will be a true threat over the course of this series. But let's go a little bit further here. Of course, we have the Maglo Open Challenge, one of the staples of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. We are going to have a battle royal, just as we have for the past several weeks, to determine who is going to be Maglo's opponent tonight. So let's go ahead and get that set up right now. And as always, we are going to have audience requests filling in who is going to answer the call of the Maglo Open Challenge. Of course, we have Terrell Benjamin lining up in the gorilla position, first in line to take on this battle royal. Let's see, I think we can have, in addition, Professor Killer, Dr. Brooklyn, Austin Walker as a competitor in this over-the-top rope battle royal. I see a request for Orange Cassidy. Let's go ahead and add him into this mix as well. Oops. And let's see if we can get him in glasses this time around. There we go. That's Orange Cassidy. I don't have actual Jesus. I don't think I do. Hold on. No, I might not have downloaded them. Yeah, Jesus was in the PS4 save. Oh, you're good. We can do that, and considering there was a request for Jesus, I can do the next best thing and get Joey Baggy into this match. And you know what? Let's Alright, I can do Stone Cold. Before I do that, let me give Keith Kelly another opportunity at a match here. And I can definitely do Stone Cold Steve Austin. And we do have one more open spot in the Maglo Battle Royal. So let me know what you guys think. Who should be the last competitor in this over-the-top rope Battle Royal? Of course, we could go back to Blake's house, as this is the Blake's House show. PJ hasn't been on TV in a little while, and neither has Ramon since that big losing streak he suffered in the Shoot League. This would be an opportunity for his redemption. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give him that opportunity, as chat's moving somewhat slow. And we want to get right into this over-the-top rope Battle Royal action right now. So Ramon, the final competitor to answer the call for the Maglo Battle Royal. Let's go ahead and go into that match right now. So this is very interesting in that we have competitors from all four major factions. Blake's House. We've got Admiral Funk's wrestling organization. Of course, we have Nick's wrestling organization. And Judgment Pro Wrestling. And Steve Austin first out with that big slam. This is, of course, first over rope rules, and Terrell eliminated immediately as well. If your feet touch the ground at all, your match is over. Of course, this is not going to be the only... there is still hope for Blake's House, as Ramon is still in this match, and Ramon is something of a force of nature, or at least in theory, as that was certainly not the case in the Shoot League, where he was defeated in match after match. There is a lot of chaos in the orange Gatorade corner. Joey Baggy eliminated. I didn't even see the hold that knocked him out of this match. As I said, there is just too much going on in this orange Gatorade corner. And really, the smarter course of action is going to be to get away from the ropes, as that is absolutely the danger zone that you do not want to be anywhere near. Orange Cassidy just kind of lurking around, not electing to get involved in either of these contests. And I've got to say, that's the smarter strategy at this current state in the match. Orange Cassidy possibly being surprised by one of his own tricks with that dirty flying armbar from Keith Kelly. GDX getting mount, but Professor Killer Austin Walker reversing the hold. I believe that was bent over of Nick's wrestling organization out. So we have a bunch of heavy hitters in here. GDX from Admiral Funk's organization. We've got Ramon, Orange Cassidy, and Dr. Brooklyn himself, Austin Walker. Any one of these competitors, if they had an opportunity to face Maglo, that match would be colossal. But right now, it's been holding pretty firm at 4 competitors in the ring. Ooh, that vicious chop from Orange Cassidy. I don't know how Austin Walker was able to withstand it. And then once again, Orange Cassidy going with those massive sledgehammer-like hands. Big elbow to the back of the leg. And GDX now going for that Boston Crab. Ramon up top. He's in the danger zone. Absolutely huge Samoan drop. Avalanche off the blue Gatorade corner. And once again, those massive shots from Orange Cassidy right into the back of GDX. Like, credit to his own fortitude for staying upright over those big strikes. And Ramon just suplex out of nowhere, just been eliminated. Kamigo, yay! From GDX. And there are 3 giants left in this ring. GDX. Orange Cassidy, Austin Walker. It is absolutely anybody's game here. Once again, another big super kick. But GDX taking a moment to show off for the crowd here. And you have to be willing to put in the effort for the fans, especially if you're going to be getting in the ring with Maglo later tonight. This time, this double team offense against GDX finally connects. Dragon screw leg whip from Austin Walker. Oh, roll up out of nowhere, but Austin Walker able to get a hand on the ropes. And this suplex, if it connects, that would have put Orange Cassidy out of this contest. Oh, he did the deal. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow. And GDX able to kick out of the Falcon Arrow. Oh, big shining axe kick from GDX. Like, Keith Kelly, an absolutely A-list striker. Those feet of his are absolutely collegiate level, possibly graduate level. And these 3 men have been in the ring for so long. As I said, these are 3 titans in this battle royal right now. It could go any way at this stage. Smart strategy from Austin Walker to work the leg of Keith Kelly. Try to take some of that power away from his kicks. Austin... Orange Cassidy surprised again by that flying armbar. Keith Kelly shining wizard this time. Knee right in the jaw, finds his mark. If he covers, this could be it. No. Oh, Keith possibly going up top, but didn't have enough time. Dragon Sleeper with body scissors, but Austin Walker refusing to tap out. Regardless of who wins this match. Once again, shining axe kick right to the back of the head. And Kami Goye! And once again, knee finds its mark right in the temple of Austin Walker. But Austin Walker's back to his feet. It's difficult to tell who the momentum's really favoring here. And there is that strike-based offense that Keith Kelly is so well known for. Like, you can't defend your whole body at once as Keith is striking legs, chest, head, and arms. And this could be it. Cover 1, 2. No, it's not enough. Austin Walker refusing to be pinned during E3. But that massive double knee could be enough to shut him down. No. Flying armbar. But Keith now showing a great deal of resiliency. And just as I say that, he couldn't break the hold. And it will be Austin_Walker that advances to the Maglow Open Challenge tonight. And I did see you popping in, GK. Yeah, I got the Nightbot working, so we are getting promotion for the Def Jam Fight for New York Matcherino. And as I said, there will be a little bit more information in the coming weeks about the Def Jam Fight for New York tournament at CEO. In addition to, after the cross-promotional show, there will just be a Def Jam-themed episode of Blake's House Professional Wrestling, where you will get to see some of your favorites from Def Jam Fight for New York compete in varying matches, both in the Octagon, in SWA rules, and deathmatch style matches, singles action, tag action. You're just going to be seeing some of your favorite fighters from that 69 character roster. That is Def Jam Fight for New York, and that'll be in 2 weeks. But actually, on the subject of Def Jam Fight for New York, let's go ahead and show off a little bit more Def Jam Fight for New York right now. Let's go SWA rules action. And let's settle a bit of a grudge here. Let's see. Let's get D-Mob and Crow. One-on-one, the fight we never got to see. As D-Mob spent basically that entire story on the run from the police. Didn't really get an opportunity to have a stand-up fight against Snoop Dogg. So let's see how he handles himself in SWA rules action against Crow. Yeah, I gotta say, no matter which side of this feud you are definitely not on the side of the police. And just in general, yeah. Boom. Alright, this is the classic Styles Makes Fight story, speed versus power. That being said, despite his smaller stature, Snoop Dogg is packing a great deal of power in his legs and just tried to swing that leg like an aluminum bat against the head of D-Mob, and D-Mob able to sidestep it. D-Mob trying to use those, use that superior power to just to try and bring down Crow, but it's thus far unsuccessful. Both men just kind of trading blows. And there is that surprise submission specialization that Crow has. You wouldn't know it by looking at him, as he, on the tail of the tape, is just billed as a martial artist. He has a handful of submission holds that he can surprise you with. That being said, D-Mob is no slouch as far as submissions go either. Although he has yet to really apply anything more than a rest hold over the course of this match. Gotta figure he is really looking to get those power moves, that triple power bomb of his that he's known for. But Snoop Dogg is not letting him gain any offensive momentum. Right now, Crow working the arm of D-Mob, and that's got to be a pretty good strategy. Oh, there's that hanging choke of D-Mob. Finally starting to work some of his signature submissions in. Oh, big Emerald Flosion, but Crow immediately to his feet. There's the resiliency from Crow that he is so well known for. Like, he can take a beating. Far more so than most of his opponents that he's been in the ring with. And Crow now once again going to the submissions. Something that he is not known for, but is certainly capable of doing to great effect. Trying to work the arm and just reduce the power of D-Mob. Big kick in the back. D-Mob still unable to get really any of these big suplexes and slams that he really wants to use to get himself some momentum in this match. But Snoop Dogg is just countering everything he's doing. Like, Snoop Dogg's speed and technique just proving to be too much at this point in the match. All right, finally, D-Mob able to lift and then drop Crow right onto his neck. He's been trying to do that for quite some time, but I think he had to give up a great deal to get to this point. Although, just as I say that, he is going back to that like Emerald Flosion type maneuver and gets a 2 count out of it. It looks like D-Mob has finally started to get something going here. Misses with that enziguri. And Crow refusing to play ball there. Oh, running power bomb, but it was right into the ropes. Maybe a little bit better position, and he could have dropped him right onto that bottom turnbuckle. Ooh, there's D-Mob with that patented enziguri of his. And Crow responds back with a flying armbar. We saw a lot of those in the Asuka Kevin Nash match earlier before we went live on air. And there is Crow's signature 187. And he gets a 2 count. Almost possible D-Mob going for that triple power bomb, but Crow responding back with that triangle choke. And Crow just not making things easy for D-Mob. He's just countering everything he's doing, beating him to the punch on strikes. It's pretty much the ideal situation for speed versus power going in Crow's favor at this point. And we have just come out of round 1. I don't know what that looked like on your scorecard. If I were scoring this from my desk, I've got to give that round to Snoop Dogg. Oh, another 187. And another cover from Crow. But D-Mob able to power out of it. Burning hammer right in the center of the ring, and Mario will start the count.
3, 4.
And Crow a little bit shaky after that. Big running power bomb, but once again too close to the ropes. Crow once again going 187, and Mario starting his count. Flying armbar again. He's continuing to work the limbs of D-Mob. Just trying to make his power diminished with those holds. If he can't lift and drop you, a wrestler's ability is basically nothing at that stage. But D-Mob continues to fight on. Surveying his opponent, trying to figure out his own next move. And let's see what it is. Hopefully, for his sake, it's a good one. Looks like he's going for that running powerbomb again. Stacks him up, but stacks him up once again into the ropes. Goes for that hanging choke. Crow refusing to submit to this hold. Now both men just battling it out. Looks like D-Mob is starting to push Crow back towards that orange Gatorade corner. And that kick in the head just floors D-Mob, and Mario starts the count. He is up at 5. Once again, Emerald Flosion dropping Crow right onto his neck, and Mario counting again.
3, 4.
I believe that's 2 knockdowns apiece for this round. The next knockdown will win by technical knockout.
1, 2, 3.
But he doesn't need the TKO as he wins by pinfall. And Crow putting Crow's stable of fighters 2-0 against D-Mob's stable at this point in Blake's house, as Joey Crack was able to defeat Johnny Blaze in the cage last week. Crow able to defeat D-Mob in the squared circle tonight. So as I said earlier, we have 2 Fatal 4-Way contests to hopefully clear up the picture of the #1 contender spot. There are 4 teams vying for that spot right now. Both of those teams will be split up into 2 matches. If you win, your team is in the #1 contenders match tonight. If both members of your team wins, you're done. You're the #1 contender. Although, it's going to be Jamel and James, Blake and Brandon, Antonio and Drew, Tyler and Nick. As the 4 teams, it will be incredibly difficult for any one team to gain 2 victories in first fall to the finish Fatal 4-Way action tonight. But I believe getting word in the back that Jamel and James are trying to prepare for their match. So let's go ahead and see what's going on backstage before they get into Gorilla and start their match tonight.
Yeah, so we just finished with the tag team battle.
Yeah.
We're on the top,
Yeah,
on the top of the world.
We did.
But apparently that's not enough. We gotta keep going, man.
That battle royale.
They got the battle royale
There's too
coming
many
up.
tag teams.
Too many tag teams. All we have to do is just get one of us to get to the top, and then we'll get a chance to defend the title again. But if we both win, we won't have to do shit.
Yeah, no, we got 2, maybe 3 shots, to get into that #1 contender spot. We got this.
All right, I'm
Like
feeling
Space Jam.
Yeah.
In the Midnight Channel.
Into the Midnight Channel. We're gonna slam them straight into the Midnight Channel.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and I'm just glad that I don't have to fight you again.
I'm also glad I don't have to fight you again, because you did everything last time.
Yeah, because we're on the same team again finally.
I don't want to deal with
But
it.
we got 1 match each,
One match each.
and then we'll.
Right.
How can you see the TV? What the fuck?
You guys don't see the TV?
I didn't even know there was a TV. What? Is that a telephone?
All right, I'm not really clear what Brandon was trying to do there. I could see that, of course, both Jamel and James had a very clear picture of the monitor here, and I believe it's going to be James observing Hsien-Jo's match tonight, and of course cheering him on from backstage. Of course, we will see Brandon later on tonight, as he will be competing in Fatal 4-Way action. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It is Hsien-Jo, Blake, Antonio, and Tyler in the first Fatal 4-Way tonight. And let's get into that match right now. I am certain I did not correct the ring mats. So we are fighting in the Def Jam Arena. But that is somewhat appropriate, as we just had Def Jam on our last match, and we are actively advertising and promoting for Def Jam at CEO 2019. And I have said this before, this is first fall to the finish Fatal 4-Way action. If you do not need to be in the pinfall or submission that decides the match to lose this match. So you need to have your head on a swivel, be constantly aware of what the other two competitors in the match are doing, but not take your eyes off the opponent in front of you, or you could just as easily lose the deciding pinfall or submission yourself. But right now, it looks like it is anybody's contest, as no one man has gotten off to a particularly strong start. Tyler going for mount position, and Blake rolling him back up. Tyler going for an early cover. And Tyler probably having the best strategy of this Fatal 4-Way, trying to stay away from fights as often as possible. That will give him the best possible opportunity to come in and strike when the other three competitors are worn down. Ooh, big German suplex from Hsien-Jo. Blake with DDT to Antonio. This is still anyone's contest. Ooh, big guillotine from Tyler. It looks like Tyler and Jamel are going to be fighting it out. I don't know, Tyler electing to break up Blake and Antonio. Looks like he's just coming in, getting a couple strikes in, and backing off, just trying to keep his win for the critical moments in this match. And I, once again, can't say I fault his strategy, as he is trying to protect himself as best he can over the course of this match. Ooh, big low roundhouse, kicking Tyler's leg out from under his leg. Tyler with that patented vertical suplex. And once again, Tyler just waiting back, electing to save his wind, striking when he's got a spare moment to do so and can safely get away. But he couldn't get away there, but is able to hit that backbreaker to Jamel. Big enziguri throwback right to the side of the head. And Tyler just launched to the outside. Oh, it looked like Jamel was going for that triple powerbomb that he's so well known for, but Blake with a thumb to the eyes breaks that up. Remember, no disqualification in Fatal 4-Way contest. Blake now once again sunset flip powerbomb one. Only gets one. And it looks like everybody's just trying to pin Tyler down. But Tyler with that big cutter. Oh, as Antonio hits that sliding dropkick right to Jamel.
All right, baby.
Ooh, missing with that diving elbow as Antonio hits that Frankensteiner. And Blake comes into the fray with those just double knees into the chest. And once again, double knees into the chest of Antonio. And gets a 2 count out of it. Big gory bomb. And it looks like Jamel is just not allowing Tyler room to breathe here. Although, once again, head on a swivel. You need to be aware of when your opponent's coming to this match, as Blake got a hold of him. Tyler just fighting his way out of all three competitors as Antonio hits that sliding dropkick right to the head of Blake this time. Big Emerald Flosion from Jamel. And Tyler, the ultimate opportunist in this contest. Tyler just allowing his opponents to wear themselves out, not even going to break up the pin, trusting that he's going to be able to kick out on his own and will have to consume his stamina to do so. Once again, if we are strictly speaking on the strategy layer of this contest, Tyler is the best prepared for a Fatal 4-Way. That being said, Jamel is Blake's House's singles champion. In a one-on-one fight, he is probably the most threatening. Blake, of course, representing Blake's House, and Antonio, no slouches either, as both are devastating competitors with highly effective lucha movesets that we have already seen several times as Blake has hit that sunset flip powerbomb. And Antonio hit that reverse Frankensteiner, just absolutely taking his opponent out of the match briefly there earlier in this contest. But right now, Tyler going with those mounted punches, trying to take Antonio out of this match permanently. And Jamel calling for the end, but that turnbuckle was occupied. Blake hitting that frog splash in honor of his Uncle Eddie. Super kick! Ooh, moonsault fall seemingly out of nowhere. Oh, it looked like Tyler was going for the stroke there. It's still anyone's match. Antonio bringing Jamel to the center of the ring. However, the fight has entered the center of the ring. Oh, Antonio trying to go off of, hit something off the corner turnbuckle, but the chaos has made his opportunity unavailable. Big Shiranui from Antonio, and there is that lucha moveset that he is so well known for, and just as I say that, Blake hitting with that big Pele kick. Big double German suplex as Blake and Hsien-Jo stack up Antonio. Antonio going into the corner. Jamel now has control. He's possibly going for the Space Jam, but Antonio able to grab a hold. And the referee working overtime. The sheer distance he's had to cover coast to coast to coast. And just as I've been saying over the course of this match, the competitor most prepared for a Fatal 4-Way contest, the competitor that would choose his spot strategically, dive in, get a couple of attacks in, dive out before your opponent knows what's happening. The ultimate opportunist in this contest, Tyler, able to get a pinfall on Blake and get his team into the #1 contenders picture. So, of course, Lotto Copy, James Holloway watching that match. I could see Drew also watching that match, possibly getting a little bit of insight on what they need to do differently to get their team into the #1 contenders picture. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go into some singles action. As Princler has requested some assistance in preparing for JB3. Princler will be going one-on-one with David Clement in possibly a bit of a tune-up match, as if there is any competitor in Blake's house that wrestles a very rough style, it is going to be David, and if there's anything that can possibly give Princler a bit of a picture on what that match with JB3 is going to be like next week, it is going to be David. So let's go ahead and go into this match, and let's see how he can handle himself against the absolutely rough brawler that is David Clement. Been a little while since we've seen David in singles action. That's Blake's House Shooter Champion. A bit of a clerical error that will hopefully resolve itself tonight when we officially crown the champion of the Shoot Division. But right now we have Princler and David Clement in singles action. And I cannot speak enough for the rough brawling style that David is known for. Someone that will use every dirty trick in the book to attempt to get a win on his opponent. This is the perfect opponent for Princler to prepare himself against Judgment Pro Wrestling's own JB3. That being said, it is incredibly dangerous to look past the opponent that's in front of you. And David could very easily steal one big pop-up powerbomb, but Princler immediately to his feet, not allowing him to get a cover as he locks on an armbar. Big toe kick, beating David to the punch there, but David responding back with that throwback enziguri. And once again, getting mount. And David working the arm of his own. David possibly riled up from Antonio's provocations that he can't win a straight wrestling match, and electing to use some more traditional wrestling holds in this contest. But that could be another case of not focusing on the opponent directly in front of you. And this match could very easily be a lesson for David into just like staying focused on the match at hand. As I said, David working a much more traditional wrestling style, and that possibly throwing Princler off a little bit, as this was not what he was expecting going into this contest. And the two men just brawling it out. That is more what David is known for. And, of course, the brawler coming out on top in that exchange, in that big hockey fight right against the ropes. And David stacks him up. 1, 2, only 2. And David, he certainly can't hear me from the booth, but that feels very much like a response that he is trying to fight a more technical match, and that he should be sticking with the strategy that he is well known for, because he is now very much on top, and Princler rolling out of the way of that elbow drop just as I say that. Princler electing to go for the low blow against the rough brawler, David Clement. Big snap suplex right onto the Whale Boys logo. Our sponsor, ALX Ice. David with that package pile driver. Stacks him up. 1, 2. Only 2. Thus, at this point in the match, it is all David. As Princler has really been unable to get a whole lot going. Ooh, big back switch. Shoots him to the ropes. Princler possibly trying to out-brawl the Brawler. Very much the opposite of what we saw earlier in this contest, where David was attempting to make this a more technical battle. But it's somewhat to the same effect, as you are not going to beat someone like David at his own game. Going up top, high blue Gatorade district. David responding back. Avalanche powerbomb. 1, 2. 2.9. Big backbreaker and starting to work the legs of David, trying to take some power away from his base. Princler with that patented Northern Lights suplex that he's so well known for. Stroke of Midnight. And that's it. David is out. Princler taking out David with the Stroke of Midnight. And it looks like his time in that match is up. Certainly the tune-up that Princler wanted going into next week's main event against JB3. But make no mistake, JB3, a former champion in Blake's House Professional Wrestling, will not go down nearly as easily. And Princler still has his work cut out for him. But let's go back to Fatal 4-Way action. As we have James Holloway. We have Brandon. Got Drew. And of course we have Nick Vadala. So this will determine the second team that is going to be in the number 1 contenders match. Of course, if Nick Vadala wins, there will be no match to determine the number 1 contender, as Tyler and Nick will officially be the number 1 contenders of the tag team titles. However, if any one of the other 3 men in this contest win this match, there will be a match later on tonight to determine the number 1 contender of those championships. But I have said it time and time again tonight. You can't look at the opponent you will have later when you have 3 other opponents to worry about in a match right now. So, James Holloway, Brandon, Drew, Nick Vadala. First fall to the finish, and that match is next. this is another situation where styles clash. Of course, Derw, a classic Olympic-style wrestler. Brandon, a pretty much textbook brawler. Nick is, of course, an in-ring technician. And then you've got James, who has a bit of a junior heavyweight background, with some very powerful slams, but also an incredibly deadly 450 splash off the top turnbuckle. 450 that you have seen injure two competitors. Zero Lopez, of course, still not cleared medically from the damaged ribs that Holloway delivered to him with that massive 450. Derw and Nick trying to compete for dominance in a technical wrestling fashion. Of course, it is incredibly difficult to out-wrestle a wrestler, but what wrestling is best? This is a question that has been asked for literal decades. Is pro wrestling the best fighting style in the world? Is it Olympic-style wrestling? But right now, the answer to that question will have to wait. Derw unable to hit that backdrop. He will move Holloway nearer the center of the ring. Gets mounted punches. Holloway slips away, but slips right into the hands of Vadala. And right now we are back to Vadala and Serpa. And the two of them, regardless of the outcome of this match, may need to have a singles contest against one another. As the more and more I see the two of them fight, the more interesting this matchup tends to be. Of course, you can't just focus on one opponent in a fatal four-way contest. And Derw having a great deal of difficulty maintaining control. It could just be the constant distraction of two other men in this contest as he gains that advantageous mount position, but loses out time and time again to surprise roll-ups and counters. Despite that, he hits that massive suplex onto Holloway. And he seems to be in control here as he locks on that scarf hold. Brandon just trying to punish his opponents. And it looks like we're trading dance partners here. Big Dragon Sleeper, one of Vadala's signature holds, but unable to get a submission. Derw suplex after suplex. But Holloway trying to pick up the pieces there with that surprise cover. And it is absolute chaos in the ring right now. Big death drop from Vadala, but elects to go back to challenge Derw. And Derw responds back with a European uppercut. STO sweep from Derw and Holloway, and it looks like they're going for STO. No, STO and suplex now. Some excellent tandem offense from this impromptu combination of fighters. Oh, he did the deal. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, and Derw immediately kicking out of the Falcon Arrow. Ooh, goes for that double leg takedown. He misses as it's sidestepped by Brandon, and Brandon responds back, hits the double leg this time, and locks on another hold.
Give up.
Trying to quite literally choke the life out of his opponent, but Brandon able to power out of it.
Give up. Give up. Give up. Give up.
Brandon somewhat distracted, just trying to punish Holloway. And nearly lost the match because of it. Holloway tombstone pile driver. And this is very much the opposite of the last match, where it was constant head on a swivel, trying to watch out for the other man in the ring. This is more 2 one-on-one fights at this point. It looks like these 2 one-on-one fights are changing dance partners, and Derw finally breaking up that spinning toe hold. Mario unable to be in 2 places at once, unable to count the cover there. And it's seeming like the synchronicity of that moment where 2 2.9s happening simultaneously was absolutely a sight to behold. Oh, James missing with that diving knee and coming crashing to the mat. Ooh, big roaring lariat from Brandon. And it is just absolute pandemonium here. James going for that patented 450. And Derw able to get a foot on the ropes. And everybody down in the ring. And now it seems James the man in control of this contest. Big inferno kick right to the head. Derw with a surprise roll-up. Nick breaking it up. Shira Nui right in the center of the ring. Super kick. And it is total chaos right now. Brandon now going for those brutal strikes, taking Nick out of this contest. Cover 1, 2. No, 2.9 is not enough. And 3 count fall. It looks like Derw is going to get his team into tonight's #1 contenders match. And Derw, the classically trained Olympic-style wrestler, winning via roll-up, showing his technical skills. So, later on tonight, it's going to be Nick and Tyler versus Derw and Antonio for the #1 contender spot. But before we go into that, of course, we have several other matches going on tonight. We have the King of Fighters tag team titles to look forward to. So if you guys want to start thinking about what the teams are going to be competing against Team Fatal Fury. While you do that, I'm going to get this back to King of Fighters 11 rules. Seems that they are already set up for King of Fighters 11 rules, so Team Ikari Warriors, I can make Team Ikari Warriors happen. Let's see. I have Street Fighter. I don't have a lot of Street Fighter characters. We can definitely have Street Fighter be the next thing. So who's going to be the third member of Ikari Warriors? We've got Vanessa, we've got Leona, and we also have Ramon. Just acting kind of as a sub-in for... Alright, let's go ahead and make that happen. Alright, so we have the Ikari Warriors versus Team Fatal Fury for the King of Fighters Tag Team TV title. This is, of course, Elimination Tag. We are playing by King of Fighters 11 rules. Yeah, I can talk a little bit after the show's over. Like, I can't stay on, like, as long as I usually do. Let's see. But, we can chat for a minute. And also, I've got a little bit of news, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, I got some news I can fill you in on after we go off air. Alright, so Ikari Warriors versus Team Fatal Fury. This is a classic contest in the King of Fighters universe, and it is only fitting that it is going to be for the King of Fighters TV title. Now, Team Fatal Fury putting on an absolutely outstanding show last week, defeating the Gentleman's Club in another OCV. Every single contest for this title has been won or lost via OCV. Let us see if that trend continues. Vanessa, of course, a champion puncher. Not a champion boxer, a champion puncher. Just trying to throw hands all over Team Fatal Fury, and is very successful at doing so. So much so that Terry Bogard will come out of this contest and bring his son into this match, Rock Howard. Rock Howard telling Vanessa to eat the feet. And there is that crouching C, I believe. Did Chuck E. T take out one? That is entirely plausible. I don't know, my memory is not great because I'm old now. Ooh, Clark with that big shoulder breaker. I don't know, I've got to say, like, running this show, I have more sympathy for just WWE in general for doing 3 hours of TV every week. And, like, where Michael Cole fucks up on commentary, showing up on Botchamania. It's like, you know what? I can relate to this now. Let's not, waste any mental effort talking about an inferior wrestling show, as we have Fatal Fury and the Ikari Warriors fighting for the King of Fighters TV title on Blake's House Wrestling. Big European uppercut from Ralph Jones. And of course, if Vanessa is a champion puncher, Ralph Jones is the man that, with a body so powerful it can withstand nukes. And his punches are absolutely devastating. And it's looking like it is the Ikari Warrior show thus far. Just I say that, Rock Howard going with those clinch kicks. And just constantly beating Clark to the punch with those very fast strikes and just trying to take Clark out before he gets an opportunity to do anything, and has been very successful thus far. Really only able to get that jab in, and when compared against the offensive onslaught from Rock Howard, it's hardly anything at all. Big bulldog from the hero of Southtown, running the ropes, and that massive sit-out lariat. And now Ralph is the one beating his opponent with a punch. Ooh, big crack shot from Terry Bogard, running the ropes. And he just rolls through on that clothesline, and Ralph Jones going back to his own corner, bringing the champion puncher back into this contest. And Terry Bogard challenging that title and seemingly very successful in that challenge, as he is working the arms of Vanessa, trying to take away some of that punching power. And for all the progress that the Ikari Warriors had made in the past several minutes, Terry Bogard is looking to erase that. Terry Bogard going to prostrating to the crowd, telling them that it is okay, and going back to his own corner. And Clark with that patented flashing elbow. And now Clark's getting his offense, his patented offense in. Of course, that Argentine backbreaker that he's so well known for. Big standing D. Terry attempting to go for one of his own. Ooh, surprise roll up. 1, 2. Only 2. Clark going back to his own corner. Ooh, big standing C from Ralph, but doesn't put Terry down, and that chop doesn't put him down for very long either. Big mount tackle, responded back by a triangle choke. And once again, Ralph going at that far C. And Ralph hoping that's going to be enough to take the hero of Southtown out of this match, and it is not. And the crowd asking for Duck King, and the crowd calls being answered. Ralph going up top. Or Clark going up top, rather. Big diving elbow, flashing elbow right into the jaw of Duck King. And beaten to the punch with that patented toe kick. And once again, another shoulder breaker. Clark still just trying to pick his opponents apart. And as I say that, Duck King hitting his signature hold. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. 2.9. Duck King, after hitting his signature hold, electing to go back to his own corner, bring a fresh man into this contest. And Clark bringing his opponent into this. Oh my God, it's absolutely stretching Terry Bogard out. But not enough to get him out of this match. Ooh, there's that standing CD from Terry Bogard. But Ralf responds back with that headlock, bringing him back into the blue Gatorade corner. Ralf going up top. Big diving elbow right into the spine of Terry. Just trying to systematically pick him apart. Terry going up top. Power dunk! And Clark grabbing a hold, just trying to slow the man down. But Ralf unable to capitalize. It seemed as though he was trying to make a tag, but unable to do so. And he will make a tag, bringing Vanessa into this contest. Now it's Vanessa one-on-one with Rock Howard. A matchup we certainly never thought we were going to see until King of Fighters 14 happened. And right now, it is a matchup that Vanessa is winning. Not too dissimilar to how things are going in the King of Fighters 14 arena either. Vanessa going up top. Big diving fist. And another fist drop, this time into the upper back of Rock Howard. And Rock responding back with some punches of his own and bringing Duck King back into this contest. And the Ikari Warriors will now bring in Clark Still. Oh my god, that suplex was absolutely devastating. Release German suplex, dropping Duck King right onto his neck. And Clark going with that rolling death cradle. Cover, 1, 2. No, it's not enough. Both teams just fighting their hearts out. Do not want to be the first, do not want to have the first elimination going against them in this match. Big diving guillotine. Oh, he's not done. He's going back up top. Guillotine again. Once again, Duck King into the corner. Drop kick to knee, taking his leg right out from under his leg. And Rock Howard just grabbing a hold, trying to slow Clark down as his offense has been absolutely devastating thus far. So Clark slowing this match down, bringing Terry back into his own corner and allowing Vanessa to get some action in here. And repeated punches to the side of the head. Harada asking if Terry has had enough, and he is saying absolutely not. Vanessa out with that punching combination. So the first elimination will go to Team Fatal Fury. Terry Bogard just egging on the Ikari Warriors, telling them to come on. But Ralf, he can withstand anything, even nukes, even arm bars. And he will not be submitted so easily. Rock Howard going for that Tony Jaa, unable to hit it, and Clark responding back. Of course, it's fact the Enforcer's back with the torture rack, trying to Lex Luger this individual. And hits him with the down D, taking his legs out from under his legs, going for that flashing elbow that he's so well known for. And Rock Howard with the rising tackle. Rock Howard now taking a page out of the Ikari Warrior playbook, bringing his opponent to his own side of the ring, but surprise roll up, 1, 2, 3 count fall. Rock Howard is done. Duck King is ready to end this match. Big 630 from Duck King. It goes for the cover. That's got to be it. 1, 2, 3 count fall. It is all down to Ralf Jones. Ralf setting up for something big. Big chop to the crown off the top turnbuckle. But Duck King to his feet first. A series of headbutts doing a ton of damage to Terry Bogard, but Terry able to power his way out. Winding the ropes and hits that big sit-out lariat, but both men down. Ralf to his feet first. Big chop to the crown. Ralf is not finished yet. Big chop block. Ralf just seems to be playing with his food at this point. Ooh, massive chokeslam, but Terry immediately back to his feet. Ralf responding back with another chokeslam. That's got to be it. And it is. It is just Duck King and Ralf Jones. Duck King with another 630, but Ralf to his feet first. Super kick! This could be it. 1, 2, 3 count fall. And Duck King, the unexpected hero of Team Fatal Fury, taking out the man with the iron body so strong it can withstand nukes, but it cannot withstand a b-boy from Southtown, as Team Fatal Fury has their second successful title defense. So, of course, we have the Maglo Open Challenge, a regular fixture in Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Maglo's opponent was, of course, determined by Battle Royal earlier tonight. He is going to be facing Austin Walker, the editor-in-chief at Waypoint, also known as Dr. Brooklyn and Professor Killer, a true threat in the wrestling ring, and he's a threat with a pen in his hand. Let us see how well Maglo can defend himself against Austin _Walker. That match, of course, happening right now. Now, I was certainly not exaggerating during the Maglo Battle Royal when it was Orange Cassidy, Austin Walker, or GDX. All three men in the ring are absolute titans. Ooh, Maglo coming out early with that clothesline from Bretton Woods and another suplex. Maglo understands the seriousness of competing against Austin Walker one-on-one, and he is starting off strong. And yeah, I definitely need to talk to Maglo and see if he wants to use one of his songs as his own entrance music, because I feel like that would be good promotion for him. Like, if he's walking out to the ring, he's got his own Bandcamp link on the title card and his own music is playing. Definitely better than having generic Fire Pro music. And Maglo going that airplane spin early as well. Like I said, Maglo understands the seriousness of getting into the ring with Austin_Walker. And he is taking no prisoners. Big standing headbutt. In a standing flashing elbow as well. Maglo going for that running flashing elbow, at Austin Walker scrambling to his feet. Big lift and then drop, and goes for the cover early. Only gets one. Does get a 1 on Dr. Brooklyn Austin Walker. Less than 3 minutes into the match even. Maglo going for that running lariat, but it was sidestepped by Austin Walker. And now Austin Walker getting a bit of offensive momentum here. Ooh, big scissor kick right into the jaw of Maglo. Both men just challenging one another with these chops. And the challenge was successful, as Austin Walker hits that absolutely gorgeous moonsault off the top turnbuckle. Big Tony Jaa right into the corner turnbuckle, but Austin Walker looking a little bit winded. Being one-on-one in the ring with Maglo, like, is certainly a taxing challenge. Big Boston Crab from Austin Walker. Now Austin Walker seems to have a lot more momentum on his side. He's hitting these big moves back-to-back, trying to slow this man down. And Dr. Brooklyn just trying to wear Maglo down. And I can see we have the Maglo in the chat. And Maglo hitting with his patented spinning toe hold. Maglo going up top. Big diving elbow cover. 1, 2. And gets 2. And there it is. There's the clothesline from Bretton Woods. Goes for the cover again. 1, 2. And once again, a 2 count. Austin Walker proving to be incredibly resilient. Hits that diving forearm smash. And he's just going to take a moment to breathe. Ooh, big pile driver, just folding up Maglo's neck like a thing that folds very easily. And Maglo blocking that suplex and responding back with a suplex of his own. And Austin Walker burning hammer right onto the Whale Boys logo. And Austin Walker going for the cover. 1, 2... 2.9. Maglo able to kick out of the burning hammer. He responds back with a big Samoan drop. And elects to just take a breather in the center of the ring. And Dr. Brooklyn pushing his opponent. No. Maglo going with that patented airplane spin. Of course, always going with those maneuvers that are fan favorites, trying to keep the crowd involved in this match. Austin Walker dazed. And once again, Maglo going up top. Diving elbow right into the spine of Austin Walker. Double arm DDT right in the center of the ring. Maglo sliding D right into the forehead, going to the sliding D again, this time running the ropes, and nails him square in the center of his forehead. Another clothesline from Bretton Woods right in the center of the ring. Cover. 1, 2. 2.9, still not enough. Austin Walker refusing to be pinned during E3. Austin Walker responding back with that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. And big Samoan drop, just slowing this match down a little bit. Maglo muscle buster. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. No! Austin Walker still not giving up. Maglo hitting that Maglo driver. This has to be it. Cover. 1, 2. No! Only 2. Austin Walker finding a second win seemingly out of nowhere. Big forearm smash. Maglo responding back with a bulldog. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat in the commentator's booth. I can only imagine how intense this match is for the people at home. Austin Walker once again with the burning hammer. That might be enough to do it. That could put Maglo away right there. 1, 2, 3 count fall. Austin Walker refusing to be pinned or submitted during E3. So, legitimately, I have checked his stats. They are stupid good. Like, I was somewhat afraid that this was going to happen when I put him in the Battle Royal, but I made it overwrote Battle Royal. Because, yeah, this, like, Austin Walker was kicking out a fucking... And I'll tell you what. We got some people in the chat. Let's evaluate Austin Walker for performance-enhancing substances. He's not max, but he is, like, stupid good. But, alright. So, yeah, let's go ahead and go into the back. Let's have perform a drug test on Austin Walker. Let's see, 271. So to be clear, Austin Walker, 271 overall. Maglo, about 180 overall. Yeah, high spirit as well. That's... So what are y'all thinking? We ban Austin Walker for performance-enhancing substances? I'm gonna let y'all in the chat figure out. All right, so I do have to say, like, so just for a moment to consider, yeah, Austin Walker 271 out of 383. I think it'd be faster to do this. Yeah, Maglo 170 out of 383. So, that being said, like, Maglo put on an excellent match. And we will be seeing Certainly more from Maglo from week to week. Hate to do that to Austin Walker, as I'm personally a big fan of the guy. You know, like his editorial work, like his very much enjoy his podcast, but you know, can't have wrestlers abusing performance-enhancing substances in my wrestling ring. All right, Maglo in an absolute rage over the outcome of that match, and you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's give Maglo another match tonight, because Maglo is not finished. So let's take Austin Walker out of this match. So who's Maglo going to fight tonight? You know, I'm coming to you guys, the chat. Let's get another Maglo match. Of course, we have a bunch of wrestlers. Of course, we've got all the Blake's House guys. We've got the entire cast. I mean, Maglo is in the chat. You know, we haven't seen Alfonso fight in a little while. But, alright, I'm gonna let you know the secret, my guy. I do not have Babidi. I can have Babidi for a later show, but I don't have Babidi right now. He could fight DMX. Well, I'm gonna let Maglo figure out what he wants to do. As an aside, do very much appreciate Maglo of the Maglo Open Challenge participating in the stream chat. Meet Bruce Lee. All right, he wants Bruce Lee. So we have an extra Maglo Open Challenge match this time. Oh, he wants Will Smith. You want Will Smith again? You killed Will Smith on TV like a couple weeks ago. You know that, right? Like, you definitely already fought Will Smith. Bruce Lee is probably higher than Austin Walker, but he wanted Bruce Lee. But as I said earlier, Maglo put on a successful show in Winter Park's The Geek Easy yesterday. And Maglo, of course, taking his time to hang out with us in the chat and take on all comers in the wrestling ring. All right, he wants Bruce Lee. Like I said, I see you putting suggestions in, Nick, and I don't mean to disregard your suggestions, but right now, like, I'm gonna let Maglo call his own shot. He wants Bruce Lee one-on-one in the squared circle. He's gonna get Bruce Lee one-on-one in the squared circle. And Maglo, as we were talking earlier, at some point I need to get with you and figure out, like, what Maglo song or what DJ Dick song you want to use as your own entrance music, because the game does very much support custom entrance music. And the face of the company should probably have his own entrance theme. Alright, so Maglo extremely upset about how his match ended with Austin Walker. Like, it was a valiant contest, but he was overmatched. But overmatched by an opponent that was evaluated to have taken illegal performance-enhancing substances, so he wants to have his second match right away tonight. A fair contest, this time against the legend that is Bruce Lee. And right now, he is walking Bruce Lee down. Bruce Lee doesn't want any of Maglo. And I can't say that I blame him. But Bruce Lee, that's the speed and power of those strikes are absolutely devastating. Of course, Maglo already fighting one match tonight. He's going to have a challenge overcoming Bruce Lee. And just repeatedly beaten to the punch with Bruce Lee's leg kicks. And there's that clothesline from Bretton Woods that Maglo is so well known for. This time not going for the cover. And Bruce Lee absolutely surgical with those strikes, finding their mark time and time again. Big airplane spin. There's one of Maglo's signature holds. But Bruce Lee to his feet immediately. Maglo going for that big flashing elbow square in the chest of Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee responding back with mounted punches. And Maglo's been busted open. Like, that is, of course, the challenge, wrestling back-to-back matches, and this time it's Maglo beating Bruce Lee to the punch and going with that forearm smash right into the jaw of Bruce Lee. And going back to that forearm, sliding D right into his jaw as well. Bruce Lee just absolutely trying to punish Maglo. And those punches just finding their mark, and Bruce Lee going for that sleeper hold. You could tell the fatigue starting to set in as Maglo have to fight two matches back to back. Bruce Lee just trying to break Maglo's spirit and his body with that chokehold. Maglo just having a rough time. Just Maglo's out. Maglo calling his shot. He wanted Bruce Lee, one of the most legendary martial artists in history. He got a one-on-one contest with Bruce Lee, and he was unable to deliver. Granted, he had just come out of a match with Austin Walker and gone directly into a match with Bruce Lee, and unable to get his hands up from that big kick of Bruce Lee's, takes Maglo out of the match. Credit where credit is due. Maglo putting on two fantastic shows. This is, of course, not going to be the last time we see Maglo, as he is and will always be a regular fixture in Blake's House Professional Wrestling. But I believe that will officially conclude the Maglo Open Challenge this week. Of course, we have tonight's main event. That is going to be Eric Alpizar versus Willem Ruska for the Shoot League Championship, as well as the Tag Team #1 Contenders match. So you'll have to wait a little bit further to see if the hero of Deltona, Eric Alpizar, can defeat the two-time Olympic champion Willem Ruska, as we have a tag team #1 contenders match to take care of right now. And yeah, to be clear, like, fatigue does not carry over from match to match. Outside of tournaments, in a tournament... Yeah. Like, in a tournament environment, like in the games, in-game tournament mode, you are fatigued from match to match, but in exhibition mode, you are not. But that is me trying to sell the story of Maglo trying to fight Austin Walker and Bruce Lee on the same night, which I think is a fairly compelling story. Now, did I fix that? Elimination off, cut play on, cool. So that is the rules. This will be wrestled by... And of course, we've got Maglo icing his head and neck in the back. Official statement from Maglo. He and Dr. Dre are going training in the mountains, and they will be back stronger than ever. Right now, #1 contenders action. Tyler and Drew. Drew immediately flash roll up. Drew going for that tackle, unable to find its mark. Drew finally hitting that double leg. And going with mounted punchers, Tyler immediately breaking that up and going back to his own corner. Bringing Nick, and this is the matchup that I think people wanted to see. Technician versus technician. And right now, Nick appears to have the upper hand. But Drew going with that classic Olympic-style wrestling that he is so well known for. But unable to put that to good use, as Nick is quite literally out-wrestling Drew at this point, but Drew responds back, grabs a hold, and starts to hopefully slow Nick down. And actually, Drew is electing to go back to his own corner, bring Antonio into this contest. Big double drop kick from Drew and Antonio, and that could be the momentum shift that this team needed. Big kick right to the side of the head. And it looks like Nick's going back to his own corner as well, and it's possible that Nick and Tyler have found the matchups that they want to exploit in this contest. Tyler seems to be faring relatively well against Antonio at this stage of the match, and at least thus far, Drew and Nick have to go 1 Nick right now, 0 for Drew thus far, but we have a lot of match ahead of us. All that could change in the blink of an eye. Antonio going for that double leg takedown. Tyler sidestepping it. So Antonio trying to slow Tyler down some. Antonio getting the best of Tyler in a test of strength, and Antonio now seems to be in total control. Everything I said about those matchups working in Tyler and Nick's favor seem to be out the window, as Antonio may have solved the Tyler puzzle thus far into the match. as he is in complete control, but will elect to bring his partner into this contest, and Tyler will as well immediately afterward. Seems thus far... Ooh, there's that big Cesaro-like swing from Nick Vadala. And both men quite literally just trying to wrestle one another in the most pure sense of the word. Big double leg from Derw, and Derw electing to go with mounted punches. And Nick once again going for that dragon sleeper that he's so well known for. Big European uppercut and bringing Tyler back into this contest. Tyler, of course, at least in the last exchange, not doing terribly well. It could just be that Antonio is on fire right now. Ooh, big drop kick to knee, taking Tyler's legs out from under his legs. He needs those legs to deliver that big super kick. But it seems to be targeted by Antonio thus far. Big frog splash in honor of his Uncle Eddie. Gets 2 out of the deal. And it looks like Antonio going back to his corner turnbuckle. And once again, another big double drop kick. And Derw getting a mount again. This time, Nick electing to break that up. Guillotine from Tyler while Derw is down on the ground. Ooh, big suplex from Derw. And once again, going for that double leg into the mounted punches. Like, that control that Derw did not have earlier in this contest, he seems to have now. And just as I say that, Nick and Tyler respond back with double drop kick. And Derw unable to find a question that Nick is unable to answer. As Nick seems to be the standout performer for this team right now. As both Derw and Antonio have been having a little bit of trouble with him. It's a 1 count. Oh, there's that combination 2-in-1 arm and neck hold from Antonio, and looks like he's going back to that hold once again. Just trying to stretch Nick out a little bit. Tyler going for the cover 1. Only gets 1. Yeah, I would certainly call that 2-in-1 hold. What a maneuver. And it looks like it is going to be Nick and Derw once again. Antonio going for that wheel kick. Unsuccessful. Derw looked like he was trying to set up a backdrop. It was reversed and countered into a bulldog. And Nick once again going to that Cesaro swing. Derw finally getting something out of that mount position, just trying to work the head and neck of Nick. And Nick responding back with those patented European uppercuts. And locks on the sharpshooter. Derw electing to go back to his own corner. Antonio still unable to find his mark with that wheel kick, but that Sobot kick finds his mark square in the chest of Nick, and that puts him right onto the mat. And right now, Nick and Tyler seem to be the more cohesive unit. However, cohesion doesn't seem to matter if you can take on 2 competitors at once. Big body slam from Tyler. Goes to that drop kick. Does not find its mark as Antonio is able to sidestep. But Tyler is able to connect with that big vertical suplex. Goes for a mount of his own, and Antonio responds back with a roll-up and gets 2 out of it. Antonio electing to go back to his own corner and bring Drew into this contest. And that Sobot kick hitting Tyler directly into the throat. Drew responding back with that double leg takedown, but Tyler going with that roll-up combination. But that took a lot out of him. Tyler is still on the mat. And this time it is Drew knocked to the outside. And Antonio will have to fight 2-on-1. Now Drew finally back into the ring. And Drew just stretching Nick out while Antonio, the legal man, is able to watch and take a bit of a breather. Going again for that wheel kick and unable to find its mark. Big 450 splash, but Antonio able to get a foot on the ropes. And Antonio seems to just want to control the ring, just throwing competitors to the outside. And Drew will be fighting one-on-one against Nick to the outside while Tyler and Antonio fight on the inside. It seems that Harada has lost total control of this contest thus far. Nick going for the cover. This time Drew coming in to break it up, and he does. And is able to once again stretch Nick out while Antonio can take a bit of a breather on the inside. This is the teamwork that was missing from this team thus far into the match. Big Shiranui. And Nick responding back with that patented Tiger Driver. And Drew once again able to break it up. Big Frankensteiner from Antonio. And there is that modified Joker Driver from Antonio. Just planting Vadala into the mat. And Vadala going back to his own corner and bringing Tyler into this contest. And now Vadala taking a page out of Drew's book, stretching his opponent out while his partner is able to just take a moment to breathe. And major miscue from Tyler and Nick as Tyler pulls Drew out of the way and forces Nick to just come crashing down to the mat. And once again, this team appears to be just working the legs of Tyler. And Drew winning with mounted elbows to the back. Your new #1 contenders, Drew Serpa, Antonio Del Valle, they will be competing against Sterling and Warzala. See, a little bit of heated discussion going on in the crowd. Of course, let's go ahead and get into tonight's main event. The finals of the Shoot League. Eric Alpizar, Willem Ruska. Eric Alpizar asked me how I would evaluate his fighting style. What I will say about Alpizar, he is a man that fights with total confidence in what he is going to do is going to work. He does not care at all about what is the right or the optimal choice. What is right in his mind is the maneuver he is going to go to. He absolutely refuses to respect his opponent, whether it be a 2-time Olympic champion or a job guy just working his first day in the business. Of course, that disrespect can be a double-edged sword. As when it works, you're a genius. When it doesn't, you look foolish. So we are going to see just how effective Alpizar's fighting style is going to be against Willem Ruska. So let's go ahead and set that match up right now. Ruska going for a double leg, and Alpizar going for a double leg as well. Ruska able to hit this one, but Alpizar responds back with a cross arm breaker, giving Ruska a treat of his own signature hold. And Willem Ruska is certainly going to want to make this a grappling contest. He is a judo world champion, whereas Alpizar is a bit more of a striker. Like, Alpizar is known for his taekwondo, so you can see those kicks of his that he's going to be putting to great effect over the course of this contest, if he is allowed to do so, because he is currently just being smothered by Willem Ruska. But it seems that this is a relatively even contest thus far. And they're just going back and forth, trading holds and trading blows here. That being said, Alpizar has the more difficult road here, as his match went on significantly longer than Ruska's did, as Ruska was able to win his by submission very early. So fatigue may be a factor in Alpizar being able to win this contest. And there's Ruska going for that patented armbar, thing that he has won so many matches with. But Alpizar going for those kicks of his that are just so effective. Ruska going for those arm bars that he's of course so well known for. Like, this is certainly a style thing. Oh, wow, blocking that double leg and responding back with knees to the side. That is that MMA defense that Alpizar is going to need if he is going to take out Willem Ruska. And right now, he's getting thrown around by the judo champion. And Alpizar is having a great deal of difficulty at this point in the match, as he has been put in hold after hold. Alpizar finally able to hit that big kick that he is so well known for. And he's starting to work the leg of Ruska, but Willem Ruska saved by the bell. And there, that's low roundhouse, kicking his leg out from under his leg. But Ruska still has a lot of gas left in the tank. And Ruska again going to that cross arm breaker that he's won so many matches with. But Alpizar, ever resilient, refusing to be submitted. He wants to win this match for Deltona. And he is going to attempt to do so with that big reverse chokeslam into this torture half crab. But it's not enough. That being said, Alpizar has certainly got a lot of momentum at this stage in the match. And just as I say that, Willem Ruska gets mount position. And now going for that scarf hold. Just trying to choke the life out of Alpizar. But Ruska now appears to be low on gas here. Let's say that. Big judo throw. Goes for that mount. And Alpizar going for that cross arm breaker now. And that match will end in a draw. However, this is the tournament finals. So I believe we are going to be going into a rematch immediately until we can determine a winner. I am genuinely not sure if fatigue will carry over. Because I am not entirely certain how the tournament format works in this game. So let's just go into match number 2. Because we need a decisive victor to determine who the first shooter champion is going to be. I very much hope that fatigue will carry over from match to match, as if it does not, this will be a very long night. Alpizar going for that big kick again. And it seems as though he's off to a much better start in this round. And just say that, Ruska able to power out of whatever hold Alpizar wanted to apply. Successfully gets that double leg and straight into a Kimura. Alpizar immediately powering out. Willem Ruska just transitioning into arm lock after arm lock, which is definitely his main strategy over the course of this tournament. Big Pele kick from Alpizar. Alpizar electing to stretch out the judoka here. And once again, going to that stretch type hold. And we're scoring this one. That was basically an all Alpizar round. As he is trying to wear down Willem Ruska. Ruska not really able to get started here. And just as I say that, going straight into that cross arm breaker, but Ruska is winded, very clearly winded. That being said, not winded enough to not take control of Alpizar where the opportunity presents itself. Hip toss straight into a cross arm breaker, which seems to be his signature combination. Then another throw right into that Kimura. Alpizar is struggling at this stage of the match. So Alpizar will respond back with repeated blows to the head, trying to submit Willem Ruska by mounted punches. Big choke and suplex from Willem Ruska. Now Ruska going for that scarf hold, just trying to choke Alpizar out. Unable to do so. Big back switch, big back suplex, dropping Alpizar right onto his neck, and once again going to that cross arm breaker. But it's still not enough. Alpizar will continue to fight on. And now he's working the leg of Ruska, just trying to pick apart his joints any way he can. Alpizar a huge head of steam here, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. A lot of sustained damage from those mounted punches. He's got about 45 seconds to end this match, but Ruska is not going to make it that easy. About 5 more seconds, and this match will also go to a draw. Alright, so we're going to do one more of these on stream, because I would very much like to have a decisive victor to determine our first champion. If that proves impossible to do in 3 rounds and 3 matches, we'll punt on this idea and figure out how exactly we're going to resolve this. Because while 3 3-minute rounds was great for the league play, where draws were made the tournament, or made the league phase of this tournament much more interesting, it has made deciding a decisive victor in the finals to be a near impossibility. So we're going to do this one more time. If we can't go home with a shooter champion, I will certainly update Blake's house with the status of that championship moving forward. But this will be tonight's main event, Match 3, Willem Ruska, Eric Alpizar, for the Shoot League Championship. And it looked like despite how much better that match was going for Alpizar on the scorecard, Alpizar looked very winded at the end of that second match. So I would have to believe that Alpizar was having a rough time keeping up with Ruska. And had that fight gone another round or two, he may have run out of gas. Fortunately for him, that was not the case. But, we will have to see how this fight goes this time around. Of course, Alpizar at a significant disadvantage every time we run another one of these matches. Willem Ruska is always one clean submission hold away from victory. Alpizar does not have that ability. Like, he has been wearing his opponent down, but has been thus far unable to get one of those decisive submission victories. He is just going for that cross arm breaker repeatedly against Ruska, trying to defeat him with his own hold. And Alpizar just seemingly going for everything he can to put Ruska away, but Ruska is proving just to be too resilient. And that resiliency is just working against him, because all Ruska really needs to do is work the arm a couple times in this match, and he could very easily steal one. Alpizar going with a double leg, and this time going into mounted punches, taking a page out of Ruska's book. And there is Alpizar's signature hold, that strike combination. That is something he needed to pull out in those last couple matches and was unable to do so. But it was not enough to put Ruska away. Ruska just backing him down with that elbow to face. Big lift and slam going into a double leg, and this time able to get that scarf hold. Trying to choke Alpizar out. Big back switch, responded back with a Pele kick. And Trouble in Paradise finding its mark on Ruska as we go into round 3. This will be the round that decides everything. Ooh, big low roundhouse kicking Ruska's leg out from under his leg. But unable to capitalize, as Ruska once again continues to work the arm. Alpizar seems to have a lot left in the tank, as he powers out of that hold very quickly. And Ruska seemingly just playing with his food here. Big choke slam. And Ruska responding back with an STO. And as much as the last 2 rounds were Eric's rounds, this appears to be Ruska's, as he has been in total control. Despite that, Alpizar refusing to tap out. He is fighting for Blake's house. He is fighting for Deltona. And he will not let Blake's house or the city of Deltona fall when it is on his back. Big reverse choke slam. Just a few seconds to go. And Eric did it! Eric knocks out Willem Ruska with the Trouble in Paradise. He is going to be Blake's house first shooter champion. Deltona's first shooter champion. And Alpizar shocking the world against a 2-time Olympic judo champion. Congratulations to Eric Alpizar. As I said, Alpizar does not and will never respect you. Whether you are an Olympic champion or if you don't know how to tie your boots. Let's see. What is that? What have I just clicked on? Oh, okay. So let me make sure that fixed the clerical issue that we had. Okay, so officially in the books, Eric is the second champion because David held the title in a clerical error. But Eric Alpizar is the first ever Shoot League champion. So congratulations to Alpizar. And that was our last match tonight, so officially we are going to go off air. We've got one more dark match that we can put up. So let's go ahead and do that now. And while that runs, I think we're... let's see. Shut it down here. Let's see. See, Frank Vista we've had on Blake's House TV already. Let's see. Don't believe any of these guys have been on Blake's House TV, so... oh, Rey Mysterio definitely has. Yeah, appreciate you coming in to watch, and yeah, see somebody new in the chat, VCL 1988. Appreciate you coming in to watch. Basically, I'm going to run an episodic series in Fire Pro Wrestling World every Sunday night. We try to run some storylines with some wrestlers that I have created, my friends have created. We've also got a handful of matches featuring real wrestlers or characters from fiction, video games, and movies, and can kind of work them into the storylines as well. I think the matchup, I was thinking Dory Funk versus Dude Love, but I can definitely do Awesome Kong and Lindsay Stewart. Actually, I'm going to call a bit of an audible. I'm going to put Toyota Manami in this match. But we can have a Joshi match as the dark match tonight. Oh, I mean, that's fine. My point remains. We are... this is still very much like me trying to sell this show to anybody that might be watching that I don't already know personally. Because, I don't know, somebody might be watching the VOD, somebody might be watching on YouTube, wants to know a little bit more about Blake's House Wrestling. I'm sure there are other weekly episodic Fire Pro Wrestling shows, but this one's mine. But, gotta say, very happy that... Yeah, hey, appreciate you coming by to watch the show, man. I will catch you down the road. Yeah, like... And like I said, even if it was a bot, like, that's still me trying to sell my channel to anybody that might be watching. Let's see. Yeah, this is the dark, so I can go ahead and hit the call button right now.
Yo,
Yo, how you doing, man?
pretty good. Went to that local MK tourney at Blue Dragon.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's out in Daytona, right?
Yeah. Well, Ormond Beach.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I've got some news, actually some good news for when we go off air.
Okay.
So
That's good to hear.
yeah, yeah, it's related to the thing you think it's related to. So
Yeah, I had a feeling.
yep.
People need to donate $370. I'm on air.
Yep.
I'm looking at it. Nightbot is doing his job.
Yeah, there was a character limit, so I had to trim the last couple lines, but it's still everything, basically everything you wanted. And
Yep.
I can have that. I can do that, and I also want to use basically have a similar Nightbot feature to promote the tournament itself, because more people pointing to the Smash GG sign-up page is probably a good thing. But
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
But this was just a, hey, I'm supposed to go live 5 minutes ago, and I need to get this done.
Well, I mean, that works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's good. Hopefully, people will do that for us because it's like I said in the original post that I gave you. Where there's money, there's people hungry enough to fight over it.
Yep.
So. But it'll be interesting because next week definitely going to be able to come out.
Okay, I actually did want to talk to you about that because, so when I'd agreed to do that, for some reason I thought that me and Lado Copy have tickets to a baseball game, and I thought that was this past weekend, and that is this upcoming weekend. So I'm actually not going to be able to go to that tournament myself.
Gotcha, so canceled.
Yeah, that being said, trying to think of a way that we could still work something out. Yeah, when I kind of found out, like Friday, when I was like, we're trying to talk about organizing for Star Wars, and then it's like, hey, isn't baseball this weekend? It's like, no, that's next weekend. It's like, oh shit, that fucks up a bunch of my plans. But that's another story entirely.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'll have to let Joey know, because I actually have to let Argon Ross know too, because I told him that we were coming out. So.
Yeah. So apologies for there, man.
Yep. No problem. I'm just gonna. I'll pass the news along after we're done handling everything. I need to see if Jackal's going to be available. So I know you said you ain't got a lot of time, but we keep pushing off, like, this conversation, you know, the four of us are supposed to have.
Right. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it was going to be a thing we could do, like, on a weeknight when I get home from work. Because then, like, all right, from basically 8 o'clock till whenever, I've got unlimited time to kind of figure that shit out. It's kind of what I was hoping, but that's... let me just go ahead and say goodbye to Twitch, and then we can kind of start talking a little bit more seriously about Def Jam and all that shit. So...
Sounds good.
Yep, so for anybody that was still stuck around after the canonical matches were off and just hung around for the dark, I appreciate you guys tuning into my channel. If you're watching the VOD, if you're watching on Twitch, we do this every Sunday, roughly between 7 o'clock, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, just once again, thanks for tuning in and watching my show. And that's going to be all. I will see you guys next week for the Judgment Pro Wrestling, Blake's House Wrestling crossover show. And otherwise, I will catch you down the road.